Can you see me now? For some reason, I'm not seeing the chat in here, guys. I don't know if I did something wrong. Let me see. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I gotta figure out what is going on with this. Okay, I think I got it now. Hope you guys are still here. All right, I'm back. Let's take a look at what is happening right here. Let me get this live stream back up. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. Just getting back into the live streaming, so give me a second. Anyways, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We're almost at 20,000 subscribers. I think we need like 16 more and we're at 20,000. But as of right now, Bitcoin, this is the 4 hour, guys. Let's zoom in here. Let me get this VPVR off there. We are getting support on the 8 EMA right now. If we've got 3 hours left in this candle. If we close below this 8 EMA, there's a good chance we come all the way back down to this area. We're going to take a look at a few different things real quick. By the way, thanks for tuning in, guys. Like I said, I'm going to try to start doing the live streams a little more often. Make sure you smash the likes. That helps get the video out there. Just scroll down, hit the thumbs up, and I would greatly appreciate it. If this don't hold, my guess is double at 43K. Either way, I'm buying more. All right, well, there's a few different ways to look at this. If we're looking at this at the 4 hour, let's take a look at the bullish case first. And I'm going to draw a neckline right across here. Let me get all this stuff off here real quick. This trend line here, obviously, if we break this, depending on where it would hit, if it was to go up in the next 4 hours about the 5123, which is the 0.786 fib. Let me zoom in so you can see that. We were trying to get held up by the 382. We got rejected at the 0.5. If we close down below the 382, our next stop is going to be this 236 around 47,730 range. If that breaks, then we'll come back down to test that 46 level. And if we break that, guys, we could be going quite a bit lower. But let me get this stuff off of here. And also, if we did get up to the 0.786 of the fib retracement of this whole move down, could be as high as 51.3. So keep that in mind also. Let me get this stuff off here now. And let's take a look at the bullish case. Could this be a big inverse head and shoulders? It is a possibility like this. And depending on if it does break up and come back up here, let me move this. I'm going to move this neckline up a little bit. Try to get it as even on these wicks as possible. And then if we took a measured move of that, that would give us our bullish target. If we do continue up and we don't break below them EMAs right now, and that would get us somewhere in the right around 62,400 would be the target there, which would line up possibly kind of close to this. Be a little shy of that trend line. Obviously if it took longer, that would raise, shorter would shorten, but around there, 62.4 if we do break this. But there's still one more fib we can look at holding us back if we were to break up here, although I'm starting to think it's most likely going to break down, but we'll see what happens. What's up, Jabba? Sean? Hello for the dudes in Orlando. The Cortino. What's up, Greg Guzman? Tattoo Destroyer. Sean Athabascan. Charlie Pips. Good to see you guys. Steven, Kenneth, Jamie K, what's up? Carf, hope everyone's having a good weekend so far. With the weekends here, we finally made it. But so that's the bullish case, that 62.4. Now if we take a look, let's go into the 1 hour here. I had this drawn on there. Let me take this off. So the 1 hour, this could be a bear flag. And there's a few different targets we could get out of this. If we did measure this as a whole flagpole, and we do break down here, could get us down to the 41 range, right in that area. We'll also take a look at the 4 hour chart that I show on the videos in the morning, but let's take another look at a possible head and shoulders right here. And let's take a measured move of that. So this would be the bearish case if we do drop below the EMAs here and come back down to this area. That measured move. So if you guys watch those trend lines, there's probably a good trade opportunity coming up in those trend lines, but that would get us all the way down to that $39,000, $4,000 range if this played out as a head and shoulders. I'm not convinced of that yet. Get this off. And then if we take a look at this whole move, how high could we go without continuing up for a test? Obviously, we got a rejection at the 0.65 fib here. The 0.786 is right around that $55,000 range. And we'll look at that in another chart. Let me get over to this here. Looking at this as a rising broadening wedge. We'll zoom in so you guys can see what I'm looking at. As of right now, it does look like it could possibly be turning over. And as you can see in the RSI, I talked about this in today's video also. If we do come back down to this RSI and we end up closing a 4 hour below it, I do believe we'll probably have a pretty decent drop at that point if that happens. We are currently, let me make sure my fibs are right. Yep. We are currently back below the 0.236 fib, which is at 48,876. So as of right now, we are below that. We're still getting support on this 8 EMA. I don't know if you guys can see it, and that lies currently around the 48.5. Don't forget, guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and make sure you smash those thumbs up. DXY was a beast today. Yes, it was. Let's take a look at DXY. Yep, definitely. I would watch DXY too when it opens Sunday, because we're making a bullish cross on the MACD, and obviously we got a bullish candle right there. We may get a drop down to test the fibs Sunday before heading up, but it does look like we are most likely headed up on the DXY. For those of you that haven't seen my 3-day DXY fractal, this is on the 3-day chart, and this is pretty much what I'm expecting As you guys can see, there's two fractals are right here. There's this one back here, and this was from November of 16 to 18. You can see when it broke out, when Bitcoin bottomed, it broke out. And I do believe that that is why I think there is a possibility that Bitcoin has bottomed. We did get rejected at the 55 EMA here, just like we did over here. Once we get up through that, I don't think we're going to come back below it again if we can break that. And if we can break that, that would pretty much let me know that this fractal is going to play out with a bull run for the dollar for a good year or so, just like it did over here. So we'll see what happens. If that happens, I think it's a good possibility Bitcoin has topped. Again, I'm not saying it's topped for sure, but let's see what happens here. It's looking pretty bullish for the dollar. We'll go back over into this chart. Actually, this chart. And let's see if we break these EMAs right here. Oh, another thing I want to look at since we're on this chart. So obviously we've talked about the bullish case getting up to that 62.5 range, could get as high as the 65 over here, but that would be a retest. Let me get these fibs off, and that would be a retest of the top of this rising broadening wedge. Now I've put the Fibonacci retrace or the Fibonacci extension tool on here. Looking at this as a possible ABC would get us down to that 37.2 range. But if we do get support on the bottom of this trend line around the 40,600, if we come down here, guys, I would expect at least a bounce here. If we do break this bottom trend line, then we could be headed to the 1-to-1 extension, which would make this an A, B, and a C, although it could cut short up here on the 0.786 and continue up from there. Now that's not bearish. If we get down to this 37.2, that could be, you know, one more leg up for the end of the year. But if this breaks this 37.2 area, then we would be looking at the 1.618. I know nobody believes it could happen, but it's definitely possible. A lot of you guys probably weren't here for any Bitcoin bear markets, but that would make this an 1. That up here would be 2, and then we would get 3 down here, 4, and then 5. And now that doesn't mean it continues straight down. This could just be an A, and then we get another B all the way up here, and then C way down to the lower lows. And the measured move off of this, if we did break this 40 and we don't get the bounce at 37, we could be looking all the way down to 14K, somewhere in that range. Again, not to say it's definitely going to happen, but it is a possibility, guys. And I've showed this chart of possible fractals right here over and over again. And again, it's not a guarantee, but this does look extremely parabolic and hype cycle-ish to me. Again, we could see another leg up, but that's why I do daily updates. We'll keep an eye on it. And in the daily here, there's another thing we've been looking at as a possible giant head and shoulders. If this is our top and we don't get up any higher than that, could we possibly be forming a head and shoulders? And this neckline is just kind of a guess if it was to happen, but come down the neckline, get a nice bounce up, get everybody bullish again, come out, break through, and that measured move would be around 9,000, and that is an 85% correction, 84%, which is the same correction we had back over here was 84. This one was like 72. All right, let me get in the chat and see what's going. Am I covering Ethereum as well? I can look at it in this. Actually, we can take a look at Ethereum right now. Let me go through here real quick. What do you think of fractals, Kenneth? I think I just answered that. I like fractals. They don't always have to play out, but there's, you know, a lot of times they do play out. What's up, Roy? Good to see you here, man. Waiting on 38K for a bounce, said Moonwolf. What else do we got here? I think we're in a consolidation pattern, 49 to 49, 44 to 49K for the next run up. That's very possible. What's up, Jason? Cody G said, I hope we retest, but it may have to happen this weekend. If it could be a rough week ahead for traditional markets. Yeah, traditional markets, they got a rally today. Let's take a look at that real quick. So it did get a rally up, but remember I said if it doesn't, let me put this on the daily. We can't get above this trend line, just like back here. 31,670. We would have to open, at least get up above it, but I'd rather see an open and close of a daily above that 31,670. If that was the case, then we could be continuing up higher. But as of right now, it is looking like this was just a major relief rally. We had a nice drop. That's just a, you know, relief rally as far as I'm concerned. Gold, still looking for our target down here at 1647. Silver broke through its rising channel here. EMA is turning bearish. Looks like you could see a $20. Ethereum's getting rejected at the 8 EMA. Our 55 EMA is lying around the 1474. If that breaks, we could be looking at that target of the 1054 range to the 9060, somewhere in this range. And this here is just a measured move of that rising channel. And let's see. Thanks for helping me learn Elliott Wave theory. I'm curious, do you not look at any of the 20-day, 50-day, 21-week moving averages? I use the EMAs just because they work a lot better with Bitcoin, since Bitcoin's so volatile. They're a little more touchy than a regular MA. That's what you see on here is my EMAs on all these charts. And I use the 8, 20 or 8, 13, 21, 55, and 200 because those are Fibonacci numbers. And if you look, you can see all the confluence here where all the EMAs are lying with the 0.236 fib. So let's zoom in. Actually, I'm gonna go back to this chart. We're gonna look at the 1 hour, see what's going on in the 1 hour. Trying to get a bounce here. Like I said, a drop and an open and close of a candle below these EMAs here will confirm more downside. Otherwise, if we can get back above this fib level around the 48,860, we could come up and test the 50,650. Maybe bounce around here for a little bit before going up. But as of right now, there's no good trade set up. Nice to see you back. Which is the best time frame to trade? It depends. It's different for everybody. It depends on what strategy you're using. If you don't have a lot of experience, the higher the time frame, the better on low leverage. And by the way, if you guys want to check out trading, check out Prime XBT. I got a link down below. You can trade crypto, indices, Forex, commodities like gold, silver, oil. You can trade S&P. You can trade, like I said, Forex. You can trade currencies. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. Also, you can use my promo code Savy50. That'll get you 50% on top of whatever you deposit as a bonus. So if you put in 1 Bitcoin, you get a half a Bitcoin bonus to use towards your margin. You can't pull that out, but obviously you can use it towards your margin, and you can get 50% more towards your margin. Savvy25 will get you 25% off your fees. So check it out if you haven't already. I also have some tutorials on how to use their margin. If you go to my YouTube page, there's a little tutorial section with a few different things in there. Check them out. And for those of you that like stocks and whatnot, there's also, I have Webull or Webull, I'm not even sure how they pronounce it, down below, but you get 2 free stocks when you open up an account with them using my link below. So another thing you can check out. Dallas accept Doge for tickets. What the hell is that? Remember we seen Litecoin do that in 2018. This is all type stuff we seen in 2018 before. That cluster looks like a mess right here. Yeah, it's tightening up. Like I said, we could be seeing a head and shoulders here, or if we can pop up, we could be looking at an inverse head and shoulders, but we'd have to break this trend line and get support on it before I see us getting bullish here. Yep, this is what I'm seeing. I chart that if we're above the 49,288 in an hour and a half, we go up. If below 48,387, we're headed down, in my opinion. Head and shoulders. Definitely possible. Let me look at those fib lines. Is that what you're looking at, the fibs? It's actually, we're below the 0.382 fib right now. If we can't get above this, we most likely are continuing down. Head and shoulder, market cap is also low. Sold a half at 54, all out at 37. If it doesn't hold, I think always take profits, in my opinion. Yeah, another thing I wanted to point out on that, those bounce areas, if we do go down here. If we do go down to this 37.2 and we can get back above this trend line and get support on it, then I would consider that probably an ABC, and we get one more leg up for the end of the year. Otherwise, if we break down here, test it, get rejected, and continue down, like I said, then I think we have much lower to go. Then we would be looking at the major bearish chart, either this or this. That's what I'm seeing right now. Oh, don't forget, right here, we were watching this on the channel. We had a 3-day bearish engulfing candle, which means the wicks engulfed the prior candle's wicks before it and the body. And I had pointed that out. I actually made a video on it the day it closed, and you can see what happened after that. We've been lingering here, so there is a possibility we continue down from here. This is pretty bearish. Also, we got lower highs in the RSI, higher highs in the price action. That is bearish divergence, which we can see on the 1 day all the way up to the weekly, I believe. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yep, same thing, bearish divergence. The only difference here is we do have hidden bullish divergence. We have higher low, and this is in the weekly, so this could come all the way down here and still be hidden bullish divergence. But we do have higher lows in the price, lower lows in the RSI. That could be hidden bearish divergence, so beware there. We are getting back down below the overbought zone also in the weekly, so kind of hard to tell right now. Speaking of Litecoin Savvy, please review it. I just looked at Litecoin. Same thing, we are below our EMAs here. And remember, this is the 183, 184 area we've been talking about. If we can't open and close a candle above that, which we haven't in the daily, we've opened a candle and closed, but we have not opened and closed a candle. So still could be coming back down to this 157-ish range. And if Bitcoin takes the bearish path, we have a measured move. If this bottom trend line breaks, we could be going as low as $46, and that doesn't mean you'll even see it this year. This could be 2022 before it gets down here, if that was to happen. In the bullish case, we come all the way back up to the 270, 280 area to retest the top of this rising broadening wedge. And if we were to break out there, we could be looking at a $300 to $400 Litecoin. That's the bullish case. Bearish case is that we break this bottom trend line here. That is what I'm seeing on Litecoin. But this here is going to be key to see if we get a bounce off this bottom trend line first. And then if we do get a bounce here, and it is an ABC and it's a 1-to-1 extension, come back up. And if we can break back through this trend line, then we'll most likely have one more leg up before the end of the year. But if we get rejected here, we could be coming down to that 1.618, which would be would make this wave 1, 2, and 3. Again, anybody that's telling you we're definitely going up or definitely going down, that's impossible to know. Nobody knows, so be careful if you're watching someone that's saying that. In 2018, the whole time everybody was waiting for another new all-time high. There was tons of bullish news, and as you can see what happened. And the buy the dip, I guess if you're buying the dip, you know, because you're investing and it's money you don't care about and you can wait for years, I guess that's a decent strategy. But if you were around in 2017 after this top, everybody was screaming buy the dip, 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 buy the dip. It just kept on dipping. So be careful, guys. This is what markets do. And I know you're probably hearing it's different this time because we got this, that, and the other. There was a lot of things that people were saying made this different. There was a lot of things that people were saying makes this different. Just be careful, man. Sorry if I missed any. Savvy, can you please do me a favor? Can you compare the Bitcoin and weekly chart? My theory is since gold is going ahead, meaning BTC is doing what gold is doing now. Please analyze once. Let me see. I don't want to get too crazy in charts, but are you talking about this here? I had talked about that before a few times. It does look similar. It actually, you see it better on the Bitcoin 4-hour chart. Although we did break this high here, we did not do that in gold. Let me get this stuff off here and we'll compare this 4-hour. But as you can see, and I had made a video on that too, how gold, let me see if I can, whoops. Let me see if I can put these next to each other so you can see them. Get this down. What is that? Oh, silver? That's not what I wanted. Hold on, let me put this back up here. All right, so here's the 4-hour Bitcoin. And let's pull the gold. Pull the gold out. All right. That is not what I meant to do, damn it. So let's do it like this. Damn it. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go. All right, if you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I think we're close to 20,000 subs, and let's see where we're at. We are at 19,981. It must have been some either bulls or bears that didn't like my video. Anyways, yeah, looking at the gold here, as you can see, let me do this. We had the high right here, and then we had these two rallies before our dump here, and then our low over here. And if we look over at Bitcoin, we had the same thing, which we should be coming down if it follows that pattern. It is looking a lot like it. We'll see what happens. And this is Bitcoin on the 4-hour compared to the daily, and obviously gold's been around a whole lot longer, so Bitcoin moves a lot quicker. buy the BTC down dip if Bitcoin goes up. Gold miner, I remember you were calling 46K 6 months ago. You basically nailed it comparing the gold charts. Yeah, it was. I was off, but yeah, it did end up hitting that target. BTC is gonna do the exact same. What did I say? I lost my spot. Dang it. BTC is gonna do the same thing as it did in January. January Savy. In January of what? Are you talking about January of 18? Or this January? And where would that be? Back here? We'll see. Well, we are still above the horizontal major resistance, supporting on the 50, above current oblique minor, and with the upward momentum, short term up, in my opinion. I am the Bass Man, Jeff. Thanks, bro. Gold is our futurism helper. Oh, let's put this stuff back on here. Let's zoom in and see how we're looking. Let's actually go over this chart. I think it's a little bit clean, more clean. Oh, we're still getting bounces off the EMAs here on the hourly. We still have 20 minutes left. See what happens. Can we get back above this fib here? And that is the 0.382. We will see. Who's bullish? Who's bearish? Hit 1 if you're bullish, 2 if you're bearish, just to get a feel for the difference in here. Three. Looks like we're having a lot more 2s. Actually, it's pretty even. Bullish Mafia. You walk with BTC hoodie outside only if you're on stream. No, I wear my Bitcoin clothes outside. Bull run around the corner. Bearish. Well, we will see. Let's help me get to 20,000 subs, guys. Subs, if you are in here. I do daily updates. I just started doing live streams again. I'm going to try to do a couple live streams a week. Or if something big happens and I am free, I will try to do a live stream during that. Or if I see a move coming that I have time to let people know. Savvy for Prime XBT, when did they deposit the bonus? Well, if you're going in before you put any money in, make sure you put Savvy 50, and then once you transfer that money into the actual trading account, that's when you'll see the bonus, because it'll go towards your margin. And again, it only goes towards your margin. To upper your margin, it won't you can't pull it out, but any gains you make off of it, obviously you get to keep. 2 on the 1 minute chart. Go to the 1 second chart and get a little more action. Let's check out the 1 second chart. If you get really bored, the 1 second chart's nice to see what's going on, just to play around. There's a lot of gaps though when you're watching the 1 second chart. Thanks, DJ. The anxiety chart, right? The 1 second chart's looking like it's gonna do a bearish cross. There's a 1 minute chart. Crazy. Go back to the hourly. And we're just gonna keep an eye on this hourly and see where this hourly closes. Can it get back above the fib here at 48,850, or do we close below? That'll be 2 open and closes below it here. We are getting support on the 21 EMA right now at about 48,686. Bro, are you taking short positions on BTC? Yeah, I probably will. Waiting to see what happens in this area. I definitely will if this turns out to be a head and shoulders here. Take a short down here. I actually did some shorts yesterday. I've been doing a lot more scalp trading lately. Dilber, there's no financial advice. Don't ever listen to anybody else. It's especially on the internet. 1 second chart can go to the moon, guys, right? I love how we all just sit and watch like a sport. There are tons of eyes on Bitcoin charts, guys. Short life. How's the new car? Hope you haven't crashed it. I have not. It wasn't my fault. The Maserati got wrecked and totaled this year. I was pulling over to actually help somebody. Or actually, it was the end of last year. But yeah, my new car I have not wrecked. Crap House Garage, where do you short? What do you mean, where do I short? I'm Prime XBT. Like I said, links down below if you guys want to check them out. I have a couple links down there for different trade sites. Didn't know you could click the right side of the chart to get it back to default size. Yeah, there's all kinds of tricks and stuff you learn when you're playing with the charts. There's still stuff that I don't use or, you know, haven't. I'm sure there's plenty I haven't discovered, but I found what I need. $2:45 a.m. Manu, you're up late, or up super early, one of the two. Why altcoins are bullish? Just be careful with alts, guys. You can definitely make money at them, but you can lose a lot of money. If Bitcoin dumps, especially, that really takes a hit on alts. I mean, you'll have a few outliers, but for the most part, the alts will take a huge hit. When you short, are you using the 30-minute chart or what chart? I like using the 1 and 4 hour charts. You can get into the 15-minute to kind of give you a better look at the entries and exits. But I like when the smaller the chart you trade, the harder it is, especially if you're using leverage. 4 hours is my favorite, to be honest. $145 in UK Java. Damn. Where's everybody from in here? Just curious. Put your let me know where you're from. And take a second out, smash the likes. We got 146 viewers and only 78 likes. Take 1 second, scroll down, smash the like. Germany, UK, Atlanta, Michigan, Canada, 10. San Diego, New York City. It's amazing how many people from all over the different places we get. Texas, we don't like masks. Morocco, Slovakia, Houston, Austria, Atlanta, Colorado, GRGB, California, Spain, damn, all over. Batavia, New York, Minnesota, California, Boyle Heights, Australia. I want to go to Australia. I've not been there. Modesta, California. What's up, Annie? California, Hawaii. A lot of California people in here. Is that because you guys are all still locked down? Ode to John McAfee. Reno. Belgium, Australian, BTC Haven, Salem, Indonesia. Love Texas, they hold their own, right? UK, dang, all over the place. Savy is the real Mr. Worldwide. Wow, Bitcoin is, did somebody flick the switch and turn it off? It's just stuck, man. Yeah, I put that McAfee up there. Did you guys see this? Antivirus software pioneer McAfee charged by US with crypto fraud. He's being held somewhere else right now. I forget where he's at, for tax reasons. So he's just charged here. He hasn't went to court or nothing like that. He's detained in Spain right now. But they're saying, if you guys were around in 2017, if you know what shill means they push a project. These projects were giving him coins to tweet about it, to pump it, kind of like when Elon tweets about Doge and it pumps, or you know, when certain people with a lot of followers talk about a certain coin, it pumps. And this is what they do. Those projects, a lot of them will give influencers, or you know, just people with a lot of followers, they'll give them a bunch of the coins to talk about it, shill it, get people to buy in, and then the guys that were shilling it just dump on everybody that's buying. So be aware of that stuff, guys. This is the Wild West, unregulated territory. Be careful. He's gotten himself into a lot of crap. I'll be curious to see how it all turns out and what happens. So I'll try to keep up on that stuff. Minute chart flatlining, sketchy. Let me see. Yeah, it is, and it's definitely sketchiness there, man. Go back into, let's look at the 15-minute. 15-minute looks like it could be a bull flag if we don't drop below these EMAs right here. But we are gonna, looks like we're getting squeezed in between them right now. And for those of you that don't know, I use the 8, 13, 21, 55, and 200 EMA. And I use those because they are Fibonacci numbers. Can you look at the link chart? I'm not gonna pull up, maybe in a little bit here, I'll pull up a blank chart and start looking at some stuff. You start an investing club so we can tangle with the pools when they dump Bitcoin. He's hiding at your house. Yeah, I'll remind me a little bit. I'll try to check out link before I go. I really want to keep an eye on what this is doing. It's getting squeezed pretty tight here. Let's put a something like this, or is it more like this? I like this a little better. We're still below this fib right here at the 48,867 area. Watching 1 minute is fun way to torture yourself, right? A smaller time frame, the bigger your panic will get. Indiana, what's up? 1000 Strum 1000 Strum. We will fly to the earth. Where will you take your short level? Actually, like I said, I've been more so scalping. I just want to see if this breaks up right here. If we start breaking down, let me show you. If we open and close another 1 hour candle, open and close, not just open or close, below this 4886 range, I may put a short in, and I'll watch this fib down here for a bounce around the 46.6. But when I do a short like that, I will get my shorts into my stops into profit as soon as possible, just because this is such a iffy range. It would be more of a scalp position that could go to a longer term position, but we'll see how this works out. Welcome to the Savvy Sport. Welcome, Trap House. Thanks for the support, man. Much appreciated, brother. Volume is low. Let's look at, there's a 15-minute. Let's look at the 4 hour and look at the volume. Yeah, volume's definitely on the decline here. We shall see. How's the 4 hour look anyway? We got 2 hours before the 4 hour closes. Getting support on the 55 EMA there. And go back to the 1 hour. Getting squeezed in between the 21 EMA and this 0.2 or 0.382 fib as of right now. This could play out a few different ways. It could be, like I said, it could be a bull flag here. It's possible. And if this is a little bull flag, let's measure this flagpole. Depending on where it would break, that could get up and retest this fib up here at the 50,600 range, the 0.5 fib. If this plays out as a bull flag. If not, let's put a couple more trend lines on here. Do this. Just playing with it. Could come back down and retest down to this range, 47 range, if that breaks. Bitcoin is in a confusing spot right now. There's no confirmation, no real confirmation of any way. But if that was some sort of wedge and we get a fast drop, could come back down and retest these lows. But as of right now, I would expect some bounces in these fib areas from the Fibonacci retracement levels. And that is from the swing high up here to the swing low, and we're teetering around the 0.382 right now. If we can open and close at least an hourly above this, we could be coming up to retest that 50,700 range. If we continue opening and closing hour candles underneath this fib, then we'd be coming down to test 0.236 fib next, which is around the 46.6. What's the sum on Bitcoin? And just joined. Any good news? What's up, Jacob? Nope, we're in limbo right now. I showed a few different possibilities. One being this being a head and shoulders, possibly with a neckline down around the 45 range and a measured move down towards the 42 area. And if we look at the bullish case, it could be a bigger inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, up, and that would get a measured move off of that up to like the 62.5. Again, in limbo right now until we do something. Starting to get a little drop here. We dropped below the 21 EMA on the 1 hour, but we're still getting support on the 55. Jake Sparka said, everyone on here, if you're really about your money, put 300 to 500 in Bitcoin right now. That kind of stuff right there is what gets people wrecked. There's no guarantees, guys. We need to break this 50K resistance already. We'll see. This might have been our last attempt up here. When we hit that golden pocket zone, that might have been a sign that that was B, and then we're going down for C. Upside down head and shoulders is good news, right? Inverse head and shoulders, yes. If that plays out, like I said, we could be looking at a regular head and shoulders right here, though. And I'm actually leaning towards the regular head and shoulders. And reason being, we are getting rejected here at this 0.2382 fib again. So our next support, if we can't get above this 48.8. So technically, I mean, if you wanted to short right here, put your stops, low leverage short, put your stops just above this high. Could be decent. Down to this level, this fib level, around 46,650. Hypothetically speaking. This looks just like 2018, it does. Am I seeing a 5-3 wave setup? What are you talking about, on the bigger picture, or this right here being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC, and then we come down for 3? If that's the case, if this is a 1, 2 here, and it's the 2 is done, we would put the Fibonacci retracement up here at the top, and then come down to 1. And if this is 2 and it's finished, a 1-to-1 extension would get us right back down to this 42, right around 42.9 to 43,000, which is our old low. If we break below that, if this becomes a 3, we could be coming all the way down to the 38.9 area. And that's definitely a possibility. We got a 5 wave, and then an ABC, and then 5 waves down. That would be a big ABC. And for those of you that aren't familiar with that, I'll go ahead and throw Elliott Wave count. So it would be something like this. If we don't break this high here, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, maybe we come back up and test this range. We could come all the way up there, who knows. Would get us down to that 37 target that we've been talking about, 37 to 38,000. And that would make this whole thing a big A, B, C. Possibly. That's what we've been talking about. That's what's on this chart here. That we've been talking about for quite some time, and that'd give us a target around 37.2. If that's the case, we could still, obviously we could still continue up here, break back through these levels and go higher, putting 2 up here, which would raise 3, and so forth. But like I said, as of right now, still watching. So we are below the 21 EMA, so we're getting squeezed right in here between the 21 EMA and the 200. Actually, the 8 and the 13 even. So the white is the 13 EMA, the red is the 8 EMA, this purple or pink one here is the 200, and then we have the 21 down here at 4804. Dollar cost averaging is the best way. Don't throw the whole cookie in at once. I'm not buying anything right now until the charts show me what to do. Yeah, like I said, the charts are in limbo right now. Anything could happen. If this is top tier, this could be wave 1 and then ABC 2, and we can continue much further down. If this is a wave 3, you'll know, because once it starts, it'll start going pretty quick over the next, you know, day or so. It'll go pretty quick if it's a wave 3. And if it's just another ABC here, it won't be as quick. It'll be more like this. But if it is an impulse wave, like this is a wave 3 here, you can see how quick the impulse waves go down. Whether, you know, we'll see what happens. Wave 3 is usually pretty rapid. We are getting squeezed tight in these EMAs here, guys. CNN is pumping Bitcoin, therefore I know it's gonna go down. They lie, right? Yeah, when you start hearing from people you haven't heard from in a long time, and they're asking you about Bitcoin or asking you if they should buy, it's usually a good indication that we're at or near the top. And then everybody's so hyper. A lot of new people that this is their first year in are excited, and they think they're going to hold forever. And if this is the beginning of the bear market, they'll hold it all the way down. So if you have life-changing profits, take some money out. At least take out what you invested. Be careful, guys. I've watched so many people ride the 2017 down and then end up panic selling at the bottom. So be careful. I think the entire world stopped trading and are charting all these options right now. Look at how the volume was there. I know it's so low, but when you get low volume, you end up breaking out with a big volume. The beginning of bear? What the hell? We got till July or August. You think? Possibly. It's possible. Thanks for hitting likes, guys. I can see the likes are going up. I appreciate it. When Coinbase goes public, that's the top I'm selling. Maybe. See what happens. Is this a bull flag here? Are we going to drop below it? And if we do drop below it, we'll probably start coming down pretty quick. Why are institutions buying at 48K? There's only one institution buying at 48K, and I'll show you his chart. So if you want to follow somebody like this and do what they do, you'll probably get what they get. So this is MicroStrategies. This is back in the .com bubble where he FOMO'd in and he lost everything. As you can see right here, same deal, guys. This is not a smart investor. This is not somebody I would follow their tweets and do what they do. That's not what I would do. Again, this is Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy. .com bubble. He got all hyper, thought he was a genius, and lost billions of dollars. You can look that up. And he's doing the same thing again. Some people never change. I could be wrong, but it sure looks like he's doing the exact same thing as he did over here. Yeah. Don't forget to check out my affiliate links down below also, guys. That helps support the channel. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. We are almost at 20,000. Sell now and buy back later, or just hold, Ahmed said. Mental institutions, Randy said. We got time. I have to figure out. Here, I want to show you guys something real quick. I'm going to jump into my Discord. If you guys haven't checked it out, there's also a link to the Discord below. It's free. A lot of people hang out in here and show charts, help each other out. But this is what I wanted to show you. This is from Fortune. The $1 Billion Losers Club. Think your stock losses were huge. Imagine being one of these guys. Now listen, Groucho Marx once said he'd never want to be part of that club that would have him as a member. The members of this club know exactly how he felt. These 20 victims of the tech bubble, as well as Mediaplex's Greg Rafman, see previous story, are among those who have had their paper fortune shredded by 10 figures over the past 18 months. This is from 2000. This is after the .com bubble. It said the biggest loser, who is it? MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor, who saw a staggering $13.53 billion vanish. That is not a savvy investor, guys. Not a savvy investor. It says Michael Saylor, chairman and CEO of MicroStrategy, lost $13.53 billion. Saylor, whose massive losses he has 179 million in direct stock left, prompted him to scrap plans to build a Versailles like mansion on the Potomac. Told the New Yorker in April 2000, I just hope I don't get up one day and have to look at myself in the mirror and say, you had 15 billion and you blew it all. There's a guy who flushes 15 billion down the toilet. And he did. And now, is he going to have to do that again? Possibly. Just like I said, not a savvy investor, guys. It's looking pretty bearish here. Looks like we may be headed down to test this next fib at. So if, like I said, if we start opening and closing candles below here, the 0.382, our next stop is this 0.236 at 46.6 again. If we drop below that, it's gonna get ugly. Chrome, no problem. A lot of people just don't like the proof and they truth, and they avoid it like the plague. There's actually a couple people that have actually tweeted that with Michael Saylor's name on it, and he blocks them instantly. Yep, it's looking bearish, guys. Looking like we're going down here in the 1 hour. 1 hour just opened though, so. Savvy MS loves you. I know he does. Megan Lucas said 30-70 long to short ratio on exchanges right now. It depends on where you're getting your info there, because a lot of these pages that show them all are way off. And big investors can hide their positions. You can't see them. They pay to do that. So big traders, you're not going to see their positions. They're hidden. So a lot of that you can't really go too much off of. And they're hidden for a reason, so you see stuff like that. He's only flushing if he sells before next run. But remember, billions of that money is borrowed money from the banks that he has to pay back, and it's gaining interest. So yeah, just be careful. And he can't just sell a bunch and take it. That'll crash the market and make it worse on him. So he might be getting himself in a pickle here, guys. And I'm just telling you what I see and what I think of it. You know, I can't see the future, but that's the way I'm looking at it. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I'm glad I'm not in his shoes, because he's in a bad predicament right now. He's been there before in the .com bubble. He should have learned. And if you look at his chart, I mean, it's a damn penny stock. it was worth nothing. He almost lost everything. Almost went out of business. They were barely holding their head above water until the Bitcoin deal. This could be what kills the company if it goes sour on them. So the 4 hour, we got an hour and 48 minutes till close. We are dropping below all the EMAs as of right now. Let's see what happens. 2017 all over again, big hype, euphoria at the moment. Yeah, and that's what I'll pull that chart up one more time. These look like fractals to me. Same thing over and over. Be cautious. Like I said, guys, everybody thinks it goes straight down. You know, this could come down. We could get that ABC or what it looks like it, and then we could come up for another test up here before coming down. You know, this is the bearish case, seeing something like this. And if you look at where I'm at now, I'm in January of 22 way over here. So if it breaks, you know, it could be January before we've seen the bottom if this was to play out. It doesn't have to. Like I said, I could be wrong, and you know, this could be one more wave up. Time will tell. Nobody knows for sure. I'm leaning more towards the bearish case scenario, honestly. But if we do break this high, there's a good chance to get a huge run up. Or if you look at when we did the second high here in 2017, we came back up, broke the high, broke the prior high, and then just slammed down. And then I've explained this before, and I'll do it again on a live stream. I don't know how many people have watched it, but so what either a whale or big money will do up here, they'll sell a bunch, create a sell-off, and then they'll buy down here, create a floor. They'll buy a bunch, everybody gets super bullish again, then they sell again, and then they buy, keep a floor, and then get everybody bullish. They think it's going to the moon, it's going to break all-time highs. I remember this in 2017. Everybody thought it was just going to go up to 50 and 100,000. Just like now, they think it's going to 100,000, 200,000. And they sold off again. Same thing back here. And this was a smaller run, obviously. But the same thing happened. Sold a bunch up here, created a floor, got everyone bullish again, sold on them. Bought back here, got everyone bullish, sold on them. And triangles form at the top. That's what forms them. When smart guys are getting out. Just what I'm seeing, again, doesn't have to play out this way, but as you can see, we had rising channel, popped out, went parabolic, and if you look at these, I have these dotted lines drawn in here, and I'm going to go ahead and explain this. So hard you're not, or so glad you're not a moon fella. It's hard not to find this mindset, or it's hard to find this mindset. Thanks. Actually, given a 2017 similar run, we have 3 to 4 more impulse waves up. I see why people think that, and I'm not saying it's not true, but let's look at this fractal right here. So we got a rising channel, second touch of the rising channel, drew a trend line across. We ended up capitulating past that over a year later. Now, was it actually... yeah, about a year later, actually. But once we got up here, we broke this rising channel, came up, came back down, tested it, bounced around in for a little bit. And we teetered just above this trend line here. And then once we capitulated, we went down past it. And this was an 85% correction. And I know people are saying, guys, they're not going to look exact. They're not going to have the same exact waves every time. So be careful what you watch with that. But I'm showing you a fractal as this stuff. Obviously, these look different. They didn't play out the exact same. But rising channel, dotted line from the top of the second touch here in the channel. Capitulated past it. We teetered above it first for a while. We broke out of this channel, went parabolic, made our triangle, came down, tested this, got a bounce, bounced through it, came back, tested the bottom, and we dropped past that trend line. Now the same thing here, just way more hype, parabolic. Rising channel from the second touch. This is at 12.5. So if this was to happen, maybe we get something like this. And again, guys, pure speculation, but we could see something like this. Come in, break down here, come back up, test it, test here, break down, and teeter just above that line for a while, and then boof. Maybe that would be 2022, 2023, who knows? But that is a possibility. And I tweeted today, if you can't look at both cases, like I can accept that we could possibly continue up, even though my bias is to the downside. But I do know there's still a possibility. If you think that it's for sure going to go up or for sure going to go down, you need to check yourself, because you're running on pure emotion. And stock markets and Bitcoin and altcoins, crypto, everything feeds and eats emotion, feeds on your emotion. Be careful. So many people thought this. I mean, there was huge companies and everything back here talking about Bitcoin possibly go to 100, 150. Same thing here. And, you know, now they're calling for 100, 200, 300, 500 million dollar Bitcoin. That's what happens at top. So, man, be careful. Could see this, like I said, a big, huge head and shoulders here, which would match up with that bottom trend line that we've been looking at in the 4 hour over. Where is it? Right here. So this bottom of this rising channel, rising broadening wedge would be, here's the left shoulder. This would be a head to come down to that 40,000 range, get a bounce, come back up, maybe test 52 to 55 range and come back down, head and shoulders. It is possible. Like I said, I'm not saying it's for sure. We could turn around here, go up. Like I said, come retest the top of this. If we break this, maybe we will see that $90,000 Bitcoin. But until we see some verification, there's nothing here guaranteeing anything right now. I feel like the same thing is going to play out in the next 2 weeks or so. If I missed your comment, go ahead and redo it. It looks like a lot of people were talking. I didn't. Do you give credit to the stock to flow model? It works till it doesn't. The only thing I don't like about the stock to flow, it only takes in supply or demand, basically, not supply. Supply comes when people sell. If someone sells a bunch, stock to flow isn't gonna have anything to do with that. It's not gonna be able to change that. When someone sells, supply is huge. If something happened, Saylor gets in a bunch of trouble or starts getting fearful and starts selling off his Bitcoin, he will create a huge dump. Again, anything can happen, guys. There's no guarantee this thing is going to 100K. There's no guarantee that it's going to 8K. But both are possible. We are trying to get back up into the EMAs here. But it looks like we got some tweezer tops up here. At least temporarily. Ahmed, you're welcome. At what price would I buy in HODL? It all depends on what the chart's doing. Good to see all the possibilities, because that's all there is possibilities. There is no guarantee, and nobody knows for a fact what this is going to do. You know, a lot of the YouTubers that are calling, YouTubers, Twitter, we got people, even big hedge funds that are calling for $100,000 Bitcoin are the same people. Let me show you. Are the same people that 2018 This whole time they were calling for $50,000 or $100,000 Bitcoin way back here in 18. It's the same story. It's like history repeats itself. Who knows when the top is in? Nobody. 90% of the people think we got higher to go when the top is in. That's just one of the reasons I'm cautious here. Got a scalp trade open. I'll let you know how that goes. Did you go short or long, FET? I don't think it'll shoot up to 90K right now. If it shoots up that fast, governments are going to start taking noise to spook everyone. Then crypto will be stalemate till regulations are made. No? I don't know about that. The macro makes me feel there's room to grow. The crisis lasts some time. Well, that's the other thing, guys. And the dollar is breaking out. The dollar is breaking out. Obviously, it doesn't start trading again till Sunday. But guys, this fractal, and look at what happens when the dollar breaks out. I'll show you this. This is the dollar overlaid on the Bitcoin chart. And this is the last time the dollar broke out of its wedge in the RSI. And you can see what happened. The dollar mooned. We're in the same area and the dollar is breaking out of its wedge. And when that happens, Bitcoin is at or near its top. Every time this bottoms on this bottom trend line, the dollar, it's signifying Bitcoin is at or near its top. And again, we could continue up, but this is looking to me like, you can see as the dollar's rising here, what's Bitcoin doing? Falling. As the dollar's falling, what's Bitcoin doing? Rising. I mean, that says a lot, guys. If you raise this up, when the dollar tops, Bitcoin bottomed. When the dollar topped, Bitcoin bottomed. So just be aware of that. Be careful. That's all I got to say, man. Really be careful. Don't get too emotional on one side or the other. Make sure you're taking profits. Always take profits. It's never a bad idea to take profits off the table. Oh, let's go back to the 1 hour. Oh, the 1 hour popped back in there. Man, I can't make a single buck in 2 weeks. Such a terrible trader. Practice first. Get a paper trading account and, you know, get a strategy before you put real money in. And then when you trade with real money, for when you're getting started, after you got your strategy and you've practiced, put in a very small amount. You don't need a lot to trade just to see if you're going to make continuous gains. And if you're not, go back to the drawing board, get a new strategy. DJ Angel says, I chart probably 15 to 20 possibilities every day and still miss it completely sometimes. Nobody's right all the time. Nobody ever will be right all the time. What's the lowest you think Bitcoin could reach? The lowest I think it could possibly reach, Bitcoin could go down to 3,000. I mean, a reasonable low, if this is a bear market already, 8 to 9,000 is possible. But I will show you this. If this Elliott Wave count is correct, I think I have it up here somewhere. Yeah, right here. If you look at this as a big Elliott Wave structure, this being wave 1 in 2017, this being wave 2, this being wave 3, and then this being subwaves, and this could be, you know, 3 already done here. This could have been 3, whoops, 4, 5. It's possible. 1 2 3 4 5. But if this is just 3 here, for this Elliott Wave count to stay valid, we can't drop below 14 for wave 4. Obviously that's a serious correction, but if we drop past that 14 at any time, we could go much lower really fast, because there will be a lot of people watching that level. But otherwise, you know, maybe we don't go below. If this is 1 2 3 is done, then we actually shouldn't go below 20. But time will tell, guys. There's always a possibility of going much lower down here. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Nobody thought Bitcoin was going to go down from over here. Nobody thought Bitcoin was going to go back down from over here. Nobody thought this was coming. And the markets are starting to look like that again just before that happened. If you look at the Dow, we've been watching this fractal here. It's looking a lot like it. So just be careful. You can see what happened last time. All right, guys, I think I've been on here long enough. Thanks for tuning in. I didn't realize how long I'd been on here. Now completely a decacycle caused everything for Bitcoin to change as far as pattern. A lot of people saying this time. Money in, money out for your taxes, bud. Get a tax guy. Get a CPA to do your taxes. It's a lot easier. All right, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash those like buttons. Make sure you tune in every day. Make sure you hit your notification bells, because I do daily updates every day. Sometimes I'll skip a day here and there, but for the most part, I do daily updates. And check out my links below. My wife's webpage also, if you guys want some crypto products, or she has lots of gift ideas, lots of other stuff on here too. So check out her page. It's inkyourimage.com. There's also a link down below. Bunch of links down below. There's the free Discord group, all that stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at CryptoSavvy1. Thanks a lot, guys. I will see you guys later. I appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out. It's always a good time doing live streams. Thanks a lot, and take it easy.